Brandon Kravitz.
Welcome to the Sunshine State's only true, authentic sports talk radio show where we focus on the teams and the topics that are important to you, the sports fan in Florida. We are Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. I am Bianchi, Mike Bianchi, sports columnist of the Orlando Sentinel. That man is Brandon Kravitz, the hardest working man in sports media in general. Primetime Jaden Grime, the prodigy of production. He's the guy pressing all the buttons and keeping us on the right path. We are coming to you live from Orlando, Jacksonville, Tallahassee, and all points in between on the iHeartRadio app. We want to hear from you throughout the course of the show. You can enter the Rage Cage by going to the iHeartRadio app, hit that talkback microphone at the bottom of the screen, and you can rant and rave about anything you want to rant and rave about. You can also hit us up on the Mills Air text line 50857. Krabby Krabs, are you ready to rage today?
I am ready to rage. This is going to be a fun night. First of all, it's steak night at the Kravitz household, which is always a good time. Got a couple of fillets from Sam's Club. And then, we don't mess around. We don't mess around when it comes to steak. Steak and coffee. I don't go cheap on steak and coffee.
Thing about fillets, though, is they always come in such small sizes. I never get enough meat. How big are these fillets? I don't like no petite fillet, okay?
It's a pretty meaty fillet. I definitely feel like, the Sam's Clubs does a really good job with
more than a pound.
It feels like
more than 16 ounces.
It's not more than 16. I think it's a nice solid 12-ounce fillet. Well, I'll load up with some mac and cheese and some green beans on the side. My kid eats it, a 5-year-old. And that's why I feel like I can't get off of fillets, because I got him onto steak. He likes it. I don't know that he'll. I think he might be too.
Steak.
I don't think he'll be able to handle. He goes sirloin. Get this out of here. What is this trash? But tonight, Mike, I'm sure that we'll talk about this through the headlines. This is sort of a weird occurrence for me. Tonight, we have NFL and Major League Baseball, and I'm more intrigued with the baseball tonight than I am with the football. So I've got some business decisions to make as far as what's on the main screen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we do have elimination games in baseball, whereas the football game
has Mac Jones. You want to ask me intrigued or fatigued on that one?
No, not yet. Maybe later in the show. All right, let's get to the highlights and the headlines. Speaking of the Thursday night football game tonight, the Giants, the 49ers are taking the field against the Rams. Kravitz, I think the Rams, forget the 49ers. I realize both teams are 3-1. I think the Rams have a chance to win the Super Bowl this year. Is that so far-fetched?
I don't think it is. I think we know Matt Stafford's good enough to do it. He's already done that. Sean McVay is one of the best coaches in the NFL. They have arguably the best receiver. I think pretty easily right now the best wide receiver duo with Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, who has not fallen off. And their defensive line, they did a really good job rebuilding that defensive line. They have basically like 3 guys that have replaced Aaron Donald. That takes that many people to replace one of the all-time greats in the interior, but they've done it. And they can get after the quarterback. They can score. Stafford's clutch. There's really not a lot to dislike. So if we're talking about a hierarchy in the NFC, I would probably have the Rams. Wherever I have the Bucks, I have the Rams right above that. They're between the Bucks and the Eagles and the Lions. They're in that range.
Okay. You mentioned Major League Baseball. The playoffs are upon us. ESPN MLB analyst Ben McDonald made me laugh. All right. So he was on the call last night for the wild card series between the Cubs and the Padres when he had this reaction after a network promotion for one of the first NHL games of the season between the Chicago Blackhawks and my Florida Panthers. Listen to his response.
And the Blackhawks return to the ice next Tuesday, NHL opening night against the defending champion Florida Panthers at 5 Eastern, 4 Central on ESPN. Triple header that night. Penguins, Rangers, Avalanche, Kings. Ben, I know you got an opinion on this. Panthers, 3-peat this year. What do you think?
If you say so. I mean, good luck to them. Are you asking if I'm going to be watching?
No, I know you'll be watching, of course, because you work for ESPN. You'll be watching.
There is zero chance I'll be watching. I'm just going to be honest.
Where will you be?
I will be somewhere, but there's zero chance I'll be watching.
All right, thanks, Ben. We'll be watching. Thanks for the rating.
Kravitz, he was getting some flack for his response, but I'd say give that man a standing ovation for his honesty.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a Baltimore guy right there. Baltimore doesn't have a hockey team, so I'm not surprised that he's not into the sport. If he's not going to watch it, it's probably, here's the thing. Okay, let me put two different hats on. I appreciate honesty, and there's no reason to fake it in that moment. This is a baseball broadcast. This is a baseball guy. I think he played in the league. Like
He did.
Okay, so he doesn't need to watch hockey. If people that watch hockey are going to watch hockey, if you don't, you don't. The other side of this is that's not the time to say it. The former manager in me puts the management hat on and goes, I get it. I love honesty. Could you not do it during the promo for the game that we are promoting? That was an ad read from the play-by-play guy, and he came over the top and goes, I ain't watching that crap.
Well, the play-by-play guy sort of brought him into it. Hey, you'll be watching because you're on ESPN, right?
I think that is that's a great time for a big sack of sarcasm, not full-blown honesty. That would be me meeting in the middle and go, oh, yeah, I'm into that. That would be it. Then move on.
By the way, John Buccigross, who's part of ESPN's NHL coverage, he didn't take kindly to Ben McDonald's response last night. He wrote on Twitter, 0 is also how many postseason innings Ben McDonald pitched in his Major League Baseball career.
I think this would be handled better by hockey fans, by ESPN employees that cover the sport, if ESPN did a better job promoting hockey. But that's about all the hockey talk you're going to hear on ESPN is them doing an ad read coming back from break for a different broadcast that they have going on. And then for somebody to crap on it in that moment, I can understand why the hockey purists would be upset about that.
Yeah, I don't think Stephen A. Smith had any hockey topics on First Take today.
You don't think so? When does I was actually kind of tuning out. I've listened to that clip 3 times. I still can't remember when they were promoting. So I'm with Ben McDonald, by the way. I will also not be watching the start of the hockey season. Zero chance. I'll catch up about 2 weeks before the end of the regular season on who are the good teams, and I'll watch some playoffs. That's my hockey viewing.
All right, you mentioned you're fired up about baseball tonight. Obviously, my Dodgers closed out the Reds last night. So we have 3 elimination games: the Yankees, Red Sox, Guardians, Tigers, and of course the Padres and Cubs. Which one of those series excites you most, Krabby Krabs? It's got to be Yankees, Red Sox, right?
Yeah, I've liked all of these, but an elimination game in the Bronx with the Red Sox standing across from them, I'm not going to overthink this one, Mike. This is the decision that I have to make tonight. Do I go NFL? My bets, my fantasy, just like this is what we do this time of year. Football's on. We watch football. I'm far more intrigued on the result of Red Sox Yankees than I am in the result of the Rams and the 49ers. It's not just Mac Jones that's missing. Ricky Pearsall's out. Juwan Jennings is out. They're decimated right now with injuries. Bosa's done for the season. I don't think that's going to be a very entertaining game. I'm kind of tired of Prime, but Amazon Prime shoving NFC West teams down my throat. This is the second week in a row where Thursday Night Football has been a pair of NFC West teams. Last week it was Seahawks Cardinals. This week it's Rams 49ers. So it's getting a little bit redundant with that. But yeah, as far as the baseball,
definitely out. Is Pearsall definitely out?
I think he's definitely out. I'm pretty sure. Wow. I would
out of my lineup.
Definitely get him out of your lineup. I'm pretty sure he's not playing tonight.
So we have the Rage Cage opening up later in the show. Well, Rex Ryan got us primed up for the Rage Cage with Dylan Gabriel being named the starter for the Cleveland Browns. Rex Ryan entered the Rage Cage about Shedeur Sanders. Listen.
Why the hell isn't he putting Shedeur Sanders? We're all waiting to see the Shedeur Sanders be the guy or Gabriel, whatever. Something's missing. Something's missing with this kid. This kid talks. He runs his mouth like I could be a starting quarterback with his arms crossed like this. Get your ass in the front row and study and do all that. If I know, the whole league knows. Quit being an embarrassment that way. You got the talent to be the quarterback. You should be. You should be embarrassed that you're not the quarterback now.
Is Rex Ryan saying Shedeur Sanders isn't studying, isn't working hard? I think that's what he said. He said, if I know, the whole league knows, he said.
That's what it seems like. A lot of people that were speculating on the situation, some that probably knew, but would talk to, would just basically say it through the grapevine about what is wrong with Shedeur Sanders as a prospect. There's a reason this guy dropped to the 5th round. I thought it was ridiculous based on the talent that he showcased at Colorado, and I thought he was better than Cam Ward as a college quarterback. I stand by that, but obviously you have to be a professional. And I thought a lot of the stuff that was coming out about him pre-draft, post-draft, it felt like one big smear campaign against Shedeur Sanders, and I never saw any of it outside of him pointing to his watch running down the field at Colorado. I didn't see any of the immaturity. I always felt like he handled himself well in post-game press conferences, even in the pre-draft process when he was interviewed. I thought he came across okay. This pantomiming interview that he gave to reporters where he didn't even say anything, it's the most immature thing I've ever seen from a player in the NFL in any press availability. So this is me giving. I'm waving the white flag.
The whole smear, I mean, you said you thought there was a smear campaign. Why would the NFL, the entire league smear Shedeur Sanders? That made no sense.
I felt like it was, there are just sometimes there's an avalanche of coverage for individuals that get slanted in a certain direction where you take one small thing and make it a bigger thing. And then he said, she said, and what I'm saying to you is, I'm trying to make up my own mind. I'm not trying to form an opinion on Shedeur Sanders because of what Rex Ryan says or Stephen A. Smith says or Dan Graziano. I want to form my own opinion. So I
think you can form your own opinion by saying the guy fell in a league where they love quarterbacks. The guy fell to 5th. That should be enough for you to form your opinion right there.
I'm just saying, as far as my viewing of Shedeur Sanders, I never saw this outlandish immaturity that was so different than other quarterbacks that have been taken in the first couple of rounds. But it appears as though the 5th round drop is indeed all the evidence that we needed.
That is your highlights and your headline.
Coming up next, your daily source of motivation and inspiration hits the airwaves, plus FSU Miami hype kicks into high gear today. Don't go anywhere.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be right back after this.
Now, it's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, dollar. That's dollar. Enter it now at 969thegame.com.
You know, in football, special teams can change a game. A big return, a block kick, a perfect punt that pins the other guy's back deep. In your financial life, special teams are the unexpected plays, sudden market drops, inflation spikes, or policy changes after an election. Guess what? That's where Trajan Wealth comes in. All right, let me tell you about Trajan Wealth. I've told you about them many, many times. I've got my own special team now. After moving my old 401k and other assets into a portfolio Trajan built just for me, man, everything is looking so much better. Founder Jeff Jr. is a Marine veteran, and he runs Trajan Wealth with the same focus, adaptability, and mission-first mindset he learned in the service. And just like football preparation, just like in football where preparation is everything, the market won't wait. But Trajan Wealth will be ready. Call Trajan Wealth at 407-213-0000 or visit TrajanWealth.com to schedule your free consultation. That's TRAJAN Wealth.com. Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, SEC registered investment advisor, client, paid advertisement, additional disclosures at Trajan Wealth.
When it comes to buying or selling a home, you need more than just a sign in the yard. You need a pro who knows the market, knows the process, and knows how to fight for you. That's why I lean on Kevin Krager. Kevin doesn't just unlock doors. He brings a deep knowledge of market trends, the latest home buyer programs, and cutting-edge real estate technology. But what truly sets him apart is Kevin's background in construction. He knows what to look for so that you don't end up in a money pit. From foundations to roof lines, he's focused on protecting your investment every step of the way. And it doesn't stop when you sign on the dotted line. Even after closing, Kevin has the resources to help with repairs or upgrades that you may want, all at cost to his clients. I've seen firsthand how Kevin Krager works, how responsive and honest he is. The bottom line is he gets results. Whether you're upgrading, downsizing, or making that first big move, he's going to guide you every step of the way. Call Kevin Krager today. Your future home will thank you.
Afternoon slowdowns are starting to pile up on the roadways here on I-4 through the city. You're going to run into some delays, congestion on I-4 between Dr. Phillips and through that amusement park area on the Turnpike northbound, approaching US 192. There's a crash on I-95 southbound at Matanzas Woods Parkway. The right lane's getting blocked there. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival presented by Capital One.
Streaming only on Hulu.
Right now.
Shelly, roll! Hi, this is Ed Sheeran.
Go!
Brian Adams. Make some noise for Tate McRae.
Hey, I'm Sammy Hagar.
Hey,
Room 5, good evening.
Hey, this is John Fogerty.
And so much more.
See it all at our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival presented by Capital One. Streaming only on Hulu right now.
Chelsea here. Ready to upgrade your windows or patio doors? During our fall savings month, get 20% off your replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, enjoy 0 down, 0 payments, or 0 interest for 12 months. Our Acclaim Impact windows are built for Florida homes, designed to help you save on energy bills by maintaining indoor temperatures year-round. Offer ends October 31st. Restrictions apply. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free in-home consultation. License number CGC 1527613. Renewal by Anderson, where comfort meets savings.
If you've been in a big truck accident, you need a lawyer that specializes in big trucks. A lawyer who knows all the federal traffic rules that can affect your case.
And who can navigate the complex web of laws dealing with the trucking company, the leasing company, the shipper, and all the other details that can complicate your case.
At Farah and Farah, we've seen it all, and we're ready to go the long haul to fight for you.
Orlando. Right now at the Home Depot, shop fall savings and get up to 40% off select appliances like Frigidaire. Get ready for a season of hosting with the Frigidaire Stone-Baked Pizza Oven, the only oven that reaches 750 degrees for restaurant-quality pizza in as little as 2 minutes. Start making hosting easier with fall appliance savings today at the Home Depot. Only when using Stone Baked Pizza mode. Offer valid October 2nd through October 22nd. U.S. only. See store online for details.
You're on the list for Macy's Fall VIP Sale. That means you're invited to save big on this season's top designer looks at prices you'll love. Like an extra 30% off Calvin Klein, Steve Madden, Hugo Boss, and more. Plus, get 15% off beauty and fragrance from Estee Lauder, Lancome, and so many others. This only happens a few times a year. Don't miss the Fall VIP Sale. Today, only at Macy's. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
We are Orlando's sports leader, broadcasting live from the FM 96.9 The Game studio. Brought to you by the Nickley Group, Orlando's home team. Doing real estate differently. TheNickleyGroup.com.
Fall is sports season, and iHeartRadio has it all. The NFL, MLB playoffs, college football, the NHL, and NBA preseason moves are underway. From scores and reactions to interviews and hot takes, it's all at your fingertips on the iHeartRadio app.
Appreciate you taking my call, guys.
Lock in with your favorite teams with play-by-play, podcasts, and local stations where you can react and join the conversation. Sports on iHeartRadio, where fans live it.
Okay, fellas, let's be real. If your wife or girlfriend isn't herself lately, if she's tired, cranky, no interest in sex, you know it's not her fault. And if you're walking around foggy, low energy, low sex drive, it's not just you getting older, it's your hormones. Both of you. That's why I want you to call Florida Center for Hormones and Wellness. This is where couples go when they want to feel alive again. This isn't one of those cookie cutter clinics you see at the strip malls where they give you a testosterone shot in the butt and send you on your way. The difference is Dr. John Carrazella. He's an internationally acclaimed Yale-trained doctor who gave up a successful career as an orthopedic surgeon to focus on hormone health. He's helped thousands of couples get their mojo back to feel sharp, sexy, and actually excited to be around each other again. And fellas, trust me, when she starts feeling better, everything changes for both of you. So stop toughing it out and start living again and do it together. Go to hormonesandwellness.com. That's hormonesandwellness.com for all the information. It's a gift that will truly last a lifetime.
This is the Beat of Sports.
I'm not going to argue with anybody that says top to bottom, the SEC is the deepest conference in college football. As a body of work for the last 20 years, there is not an argument. But you know what's now happened? Everybody gets to pay legally. And look what happened to a couple of schools. Texas Tech. Well, they had their billionaire guy bought players. Okay, so you guys had 6 guys that were buying players when it was illegal. Now this guy's doing it legally. And now what? You're ruffled that they appear to be really, really good? Or that Miami made the commitment a couple of years ago to tap into a few people to say, we need your millions, and they did it. And look what they built. Or Florida State had a miserable season last year and were able to go back to some of the same people and get millions more to buy players legally? Because that's what's happened now. The distribution of talent is not stockpiling 5 stars anymore.
The Beat of Sports with Mark Daniels. Weekday mornings following the bridge at 9:30 on FM 96.9 The Game, Orlando's sports leader. The new home for the Miami Dolphins is 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and the iHeartRadio app. Just search 96.9 The Game. Welcome back to the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida. Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
Welcome back to the program. Happy to have you on board this afternoon. Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz rolls right along. AM 930 in Jacksonville, FM 96.5 The Spear in Tallahassee, and right here in sunny Orlando, Florida on FM 96.9 The Game, streaming everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, the free iHeartRadio app. Bianchi, you have a window in the room that you're in. Is it still beautiful outside?
Still beautiful. I'm doing my boxing.
Okay. You're boxing right now?
Using the peekaboo style that Floyd Patterson used to use.
Uh-oh. Now you
put
see
those
him?
Gloves in front of it. Put those gloves in front of his face, and then he'd peek out, and then boom, 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 boom. Rat-a-tat-tat, your noggin with about 5 jabs.
All right. You
That was Floyd Patterson.
You getting ready for that one-on-one fight with Desmond Bain? Is that what's happening?
I don't think so. No.
The 2 biggest guns in Central Florida. It is now time for the Daily Coach Quote of the Day, our daily source of inspiration and motivation. And today's is from motivational speaker Eric Thomas. Everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do. Love that quote. People talk about it, but are they about it? People want to, everybody wants to be I'm a beast. You hear that a lot these days. But it's not about being a beast. It's about doing what beasts do in whatever it is. Sports, in your professional life, personal life, if you want to run a marathon, whatever it is. If you're not willing to do what the beasts do, then you'll never actually be one.
Everybody wants to be Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant or the person in your office who's making all the sales, all right, and getting the biggest commission checks because they sell more. Well, you want to know why they sell more? Because they work harder at it, all right? You can't just sit on your ass and think about being the best. You got to be the best.
Oh, that brings me to another one. This one from the great Ric Flair. To be the man, you got to beat the man. Woo!
Yeah.
Today is National Name Your Car Day. So I figured one of the questions we could ask today, it's also National Fried Scallops Day, but I just don't have a lot of I don't have a lot of content to pull out of that one. Love a good scallop, though.
It's also National Farm Animals Day.
Right. And maybe we have a question about that we can ask the audience. National Name Your Car Day. I'm curious what is the name of your favorite car that you've ever owned, or your current car, and maybe a reason why. That's a starting point, but that's, we want people to talk to us in the rage cage as well. It's hard to rage.
Well, how about car issues? Car mechanic issues. I've got a car mechanic story that really pissed me off back in the day. Really made me want to enter the rage cage.
Okay, I like that. I think that's the right way to gear this. Car problems, car mechanic issues, rage about cars. Even if you wanted to throw I-4 traffic in there, or the local highway near you, 75, whatever it is, we'll hear that. I think that's a good one. It's a good way to go. My car right now, by the way, because I drive a Forte, my car's name is Matt, just in case you were wondering. Matt Forte, like the old running back.
Car. Oh, Matt, is that why?
That is why. No. My car's name. I named my car Matt Forte.
The first car I ever drove wasn't my car. It was my mom's car, but my mom didn't know how to drive, but she needed me and my little brother to haul her around. So she bought a car, a big Pontiac Catalina. All right. 72 Pontiac Catalina. And it was a big white land yacht is what it was. And we used to call it Old Whitey. Man, did I have some good times in the back seat of Old Whitey.
Oh, yeah?
God. Oh, my God.
Doing homework and stuff?
No. Sheila, Becky, Dee Dee. I mean, I could
Dee
Dee, yeah.
Oh, man. Those ladies didn't know what they had coming. As you mentioned, today is National Farm Animals Day. Oh, no. We got to go to break. Come on. We have to play the music now. We're just getting to the good stuff, Jaden. What's going on over here? Text in 50857. Hit us up in the rage
Juliet.
cage.
Susan.
I want to hear from Dee Dee on the talk back today.
Bianchi,
you never called me back. Up next, FSU voice Jeff Colhane. I worry about this backseat. Jeff Colhane, voice of the Knolls, next.
With Bianchi and Kravitz.
Oh, my goodness. The leaves are falling, but the stakes are rising. I've got baseball on right in front of me right now. I got the under going, obviously. Tigers, Guardians, game 3. A couple of game 3s tonight in baseball. You can bet on all of it over on Hard Rock Bet. I'm teetering on a Red Sox money line tonight, but we'll see about that. Sign up today. Bet $5 on any game. If it wins, you score $150 in bonus bets. Get the party started over on Hard Rock Bet. Not just Major League Baseball tonight, NFL action tonight as well. Some Mac Jones unders. Sounds like a really nice way to spend our evening. Refer your friends to Hard Rock Bet, and you can both score a bonus bet up to $50. Win together, play together over on Hard Rock Bet, and roll with us. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888. Admit it.
Orlando, are you ready to rock it? My favorite beach getaway, Hard Rock Hotel Daytona Beach, is calling your name. Not even an hour's drive from downtown Orlando. You'll find modern luxury, legendary Hard Rock vibes, and that endless Florida sunshine. Even in the middle of winter, lounge by the oceanfront pool, a world-famous restaurant, or unwind at the spa. And when the sun sets, enjoy live music under the stars at their beachside band shell. For reservations, go to hardrockhotels.com/Daytona Beach.
What if you could get big bank muscle with small bank hustle, big bank convenience, and small bank connection? That's First Horizon, bringing together the best of big and small to help you on the road to your horizon. Visit firsthorizon.com/get-it-all.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep with the flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Join us daily on 96.9 The Game for your Embers Only Cigar of the Week. Brought to you by Corona Cigar Company. Luxury cigar lifestyle, fine spirits, and relaxation await at your nearest Corona Cigar. Dr. Phillips, downtown, Heathrow, or online at coronacigar.com.
If you're in a slip and fall accident, time is not on your side. Stores have video footage that's crucial evidence in your case. You've got to act quickly. Call Farah and Farah so we can preserve it before it disappears.
Orlando. Mobility in dogs and cats is very important. I'm Dr. Travis Vandenberg. I'm a veterinarian, and I do recommend Gentle Giant's natural non-GMO dog and puppy food, as well as the cat and kitten food. Gentle Giants has the New Zealand green lip mussel, which is a bioavailable source of glucosamine and chondroitin. We feed it from puppies and kittens 3 weeks of age all the way to the oldest dogs and cats, and that's what's nice about it.
At Petco, Stater Brothers, H-E-B, and more.
Gentle Giants for life.
At International Diamond Center, diamonds always take center stage, but you won't believe the new collection of rare colored gemstones they have now.
When you see the color that we've procured and the collections that we've put together, it's going to blow you away.
IDC's Brian LeClaire.
Stones like a Paraíba from Brazil, extremely rare and hard to find, but the stone just absolutely pops and talks. It's got that beautiful ocean color.
Sapphires? Yes, IDC has them. Emeralds and rubies too, but so much more.
One of a kind Saverites, beautiful vibrant green color. Red spinel from Burma, unbelievable pigeon blood red color. Aquamarines, Santa Maria color.
Are you looking to add some color with fashion jewelry or even an engagement ring? IDC invites you to a whole new world of exquisite choices.
What we've really focused on is making sure that we are finding the most rare, spectacular gemstones.
Discover unique and rare precious gemstones and add some color to your life at International Diamond Center, Altamont Springs, Waterford Lakes, and Mall at Millennia.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different.
Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
All you home buyers out there, mortgage rates keep going down and inventory's up, and the Nickley Group is helping buyers save an average of $24,000 by negotiating rate buydowns, seller concessions, and the Hometown Heroes program, where first responders, teachers, nurses can save up to $25,000 in down payment and closing costs. And when you buy through the Nickley Group, you're not just getting a house, you're getting a team, free moving trucks, free home warranty, and more. Download their free buyer's guide at thenickley.com. If you want to buy or sell quickly, just call Nickley.
Whether it's day or night, hot flashes due to menopause can be unpredictable. That's why there's Veoza, a prescription treatment proven to reduce the number and severity of hot flashes day and night that can start working in as early as 1 week. Based on clinical studies measuring efficacy at 4 and 12 weeks, individual results may vary. Talk to your healthcare provider about what this may mean for you. For moderate to severe vasomotor symptoms or hot flashes and night sweats due to menopause, Veoza can cause serious side effects, including liver problems. Your doctor will do blood tests before and during treatment. Stop Veoza and call your doctor if you have symptoms of liver problems, such as feeling more tired than usual, decreased appetite, nausea, vomiting, itching, yellowing of the eyes or skin, pale stool, dark urine, or stomach pain. Don't use Veoza if you have cirrhosis, severe kidney problems, kidney failure, or take CYP1A2 inhibitors. Ask your doctor about Veoza. To learn more, call 1-866-239-1637 or go to Veoza.com. That's VEOZAH.com.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching fever under your flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
This report is sponsored by eBay.
Hey everybody, Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Laurel Blanchard here with your Thursday evening forecast. We're going to continue to see those showers move in across the region from the East Coast as we head through the rest of the evening, and more widespread rain on tap. Taking a look at your Friday, we're keeping an eye on a tropical system that's lingering just over the Bahamas from Tropical Storm Imelda, and this is what's going to be making its way over the peninsula, increasing our rain chances as we also take a look ahead into the weekend.
Swapping out your tires? There's nothing like it. With eBay, you find the feel you're looking for, from smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at the prices you'll love. eBay, things people love.
Felt like you missed something this morning?
It's becoming a disgusting habit at this point.
You did. You can listen while you get ready in the morning.
Wake up with us.
Just tell Alexa to play 96.9 The Game. Let's hit the local beat and see what's happening with the teams that call the state of Florida home. Sending you back to the studio. It's Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Touchdown, Florida State! Touchdown, FSU!
Let's welcome in the radio voice of the Florida State Seminoles, Jeff Colhane. You can listen to him call all the Seminole games in Tallahassee at FM 96.5, The Spear, in Orlando at AM 810 Fox Sports Radio. And there will be a lot of people watching and listening to Florida State this weekend up at the Doak as the Miami Hurricanes come to town. Before we get to the big game, Jeff, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I want to ask you about the field storming last week, because I've long been against field storming. That looked dangerous last week to me.
Gentlemen, great to talk to you guys. Bulldog, Kravitz, always a pleasure. It was aggressive. Yeah, there was definitely some aggressiveness to it. That's for sure, and especially at Virginia, at Scott Stadium, where they have the hill behind that north end zone. Right. There is nothing holding back the student section, and they were ready to go. And that felt more like a court storming than it did a field storming. It was they were out there almost before the ball, touched the ground, essentially in double overtime. And it was something. I don't think I've seen it that quick before, that moved that fast. And there were actually some injuries that occurred. In fact, out of the Florida State tunnel, there were medical workers wheeling people out. We had police and riot gear come in. They had to pepper spray some people that were getting in fights on the field. Yeah, it was definitely wild. That's for sure. That was a different vibe.
All right, so the Noles lose last week, obviously, but as we've been talking this week, man, that loss isn't going to matter if they beat the Canes on Saturday, is it?
No, they're right back in it. Yeah, you're exactly right. And you never want to, lose a game that you're supposed to win. Florida State was favored to win that game at Scott Stadium, but give UVA a lot of credit. I thought they played really well. We knew that they had a veteran team, and told you guys I was a big fan of their quarterback, Chandler Morris, and he looked the part and made some big plays, and they made one more play than Florida State did last weekend. But to your point, Bulldog, if Florida State can down number 3 Miami Saturday night in front of what's going to be just an amazing atmosphere inside of Doak Campbell Stadium. I mean, it's going to be electric. The energy will be palpable, and it'll be I think it's going to be that next great game you talk about in the series history of these two bitter rivals between the Noles and the Canes. And you win that one, you're right back in the mix. You're back in the top 10. I would think you'd be in that area as far as the rankings are concerned. And you're certainly right back in the mix early on. There's still a lot of football left to be played, but early on in ACC conference play, you're at 0-2 if you lose it, and you're in a tough spot. But with a win, you're right in the conversation. So yes, you get this W, and all is well. That's for sure.
Talking to the voice of the Noles, Jeff Colhane here on Game On. How's the team processing that Virginia loss? Is it just on to the next, or was there Were there a couple of days where this team was looking around going, what just happened there on the road on a Friday night?
Yeah, disappointment for sure, Kravitz. I mean, definitely a squad. It was a quiet locker room after the game, without a doubt, and a disappointed, frustrated football team. They did not play well. They didn't, they did what they showed last Friday night was not what we had seen early in the year, especially against Alabama. And that one is looking better and better after what they did to Georgia, going between the hedges last Saturday night and beating the Bulldogs and ending that 33-game home field winning streak for UGA. So disappointment for sure. But look, a loss is never great. But if you're looking to refocus and to really re-energize, having this happen before Miami comes to town, the timing of that loss, you can spin that in your favor from a coaching perspective for Mike Norvell and company. Because this team did not play focused early on. They made too many mistakes, and they just didn't play their brand of football. So now you have their full attention. And if Miami didn't have your full attention, which they did, should have coming in, losing that game to Virginia definitely has you recalibrated and has you locked back in. And so this team has moved on. They've obviously gone back and looked at all the mistakes and the understanding of what they can't do moving forward, because they cannot commit those same errors against Miami and expect to win that game here at home on Saturday night.
Both of these teams have been excellent in the ground game. There are a lot of factors at play here on Saturday night, but where does that one rank for you?
I think it's the story of the game, Kravitz. I think the physicality on both sides of the line of scrimmage for both is where the game's won and lost. I mean, we'll talk about the quarterbacks, and that's sexy with Tommy Castellanos and Carson Beck as portal guys in one-off seasons, right? And both of those guys will have to play well for their teams to have a shot to win. But to me, it is that. It's the physicality of both of these lines of scrimmage. I think both offensive lines are tremendous. Miami is going to be a comparable challenge to what Alabama was for Florida State's defensive front. I think that that Miami's defensive line is the best that Florida State will have seen to this point this season, with guys like Ruben Bain and Nakeem Mesidor. That PFF has those two as the two best edge players in college football, and they're on the same defensive line. So I think that's the storyline. Who is going to be able to out physical the other? Who's going to be tougher? Earl Little Jr., who's a South Florida guy playing Rover for Florida State. It's going to be a bloodbath on Saturday night. And so this has the vibes and the makings of that old school late 80s, early to mid 90s, late 90s Florida State Miami games, guys. And man, I can't wait to see this thing get going at 7:49 Eastern time Saturday evening.
What in the hell is going on, Cole? Hey, I just Googled Mike Norvell. All right, because I wanted to see if there's any late breaking news on Florida State. The first thing that comes up, it's a USA Today article 2 hours ago. Mike Norvell's hot seat status going into the Miami-Florida State game. What in the hell are we doing in the media today, Jeff Colhane? I don't.
Hey, you tell me, Bulldog. You're more locked into that than I am. What's going on there, pal?
You need to talk to your people, Mike. That's unacceptable.
Yeah, Mike. Let's talk. Mike, let's talk to your people. Huh? What's the deal? There's no hot seat at all for Mike Norvell. I'm curious who wrote that article. I'd be interested to hear the background on that. I mean, Mike Norvell's doing an amazing job, obviously.
Here's the subhead. Is Mike Norvell actually on the hot seat? USA Today's Matt Hayes and Tallahassee Democrats' Peter Holland Jr. break it down. Yeah, good God.
Man, I'll have to give. I know Peter. I'll have to give Peter a little bit of a hard time for that one. I don't
click.
That doesn't need to be on there for sure. Yeah.
So anyway, all right. My rant's over. That's my rage cage
there you go.
today.
I like it.
All right.
I like it. That sounds good. Yeah.
Jeff Colhane, we appreciate it. We'll be listening to your call on Saturday night. So thank you so much for joining us.
Who you guys picking? I know you guys both picked Virginia last week after I got off the phone. Who you guys picking this week?
You're going to have to listen tomorrow.
Oh,
when we do our
Yeah,
Yingling
come on,
six-pack.
Jeff.
Wow. Look at you broadcast pros. That was impressive there, Bulldog. I about beat you into it. You wouldn't take the bait. That
No,
was clickbait for me right there, Bulldog. Nice
Jeff,
job.
yeah, we withhold that until Friday afternoons. Otherwise, why would people listen to us?
Also, Colhane, like a pro, I even got the sponsor in the Yingling six-pack tomorrow.
Oh, wow. This is something. Tell you what, iHeart execs, listen up to these guys in Central Florida. Raises are needed. That's what I'm saying.
All right. Thank you, Jeff.
See you,
All right,
Jeff.
boys. Great talking to you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, man, he's great. Jeff Colhane, radio voice of the Florida State Seminoles. You can catch them on our sister station, AM 810, here in Orlando. Up next is FSU Miami, the rivalry that it once was. Plus your texts, your talkbacks. Enter the rage cage. We want automobile rage, not actual road rage, but what do you rage about on the roads and with your car and car mechanics, all of that, and win you UCF tickets. We're back with that next.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be back right after this.
If you've been on the fence about selling your home, I get it. The market's been volatile. It's been crazy. But let me tell you what the Nickley Group told me. Forget about the national headlines. What matters is what's happening in your zip code. And right here in Central Florida, homes are flying. Sellers with the right team are getting multiple offers, fast closings, and big equity payouts. The Nickley Group even has a cash offer option. No showings, close in 14 days. How good is that? Or list it and let them help you get top dollar. The Nickley Group gets their sellers 6% more than the average. Either way, you win. Guaranteed offer or put it on the market. For a guaranteed offer on your home, visit thenickley.com. That's thenickley.com. If you want to sell quickly, just call Nickley.
Betting exchanges have become the new craze in sports betting, and there is no one on the internet that does it better than BetterEdge. So transparent, so honest, so user-friendly. BetterEdge gives you that little extra advantage that you need. I've said it many times. I've bet on sports for a while. I did not start making money consistently until I started using BetterEdge. I also share competitions every Friday that we can dive into together as well. My Beat Brandon Challenge. Sign up for the first time, get $20 on the house. Just use the promo code BeatBrandon when you sign up at betteredge.com or on the BetterEdge app.
Emergency cruiser blocking all lanes on Orange Blossom Trail northbound at State Road 408. A crash is getting cleared up there. Keep an eye out for a car stopped on the shoulder on Florida's Turnpike northbound just before that Hancock Road exit. The roadways are wet out there. It's stop and go on I-95 southbound approaching Matanzas Woods Parkway. Emergency cruiser still on the roadways. The right lane's blocked. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Paul Davis Restoration, serving coastal and central Florida.
When storm damage hits, call the pros. Paul Davis Restoration. On call 24/7, giving you peace of mind and restoring your home or business. When things go wrong, they do what's right. Call Paul Davis Restoration, serving all of coastal and central Florida.
Need t-shirts with your logo? At C360store.com. We've got printing, apparel decoration, signage, and custom promo items that get you noticed. Save 15% on your first order and claim your free journal at C360store.com.
Tune in to Operation Stormwatch on iHeartRadio, brought to you by Eustace Roofing. Small leaks can become big problems with heavy and continuous rain. Take a preventative step and schedule a no-charge roof inspection. Eustace Roofing, the real roofers, real craftsmen, real professionals, real experts.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply.
Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
You know what I love about pro football in Florida? We've got 3 teams, 3 sets of stars, and with Prize Picks, 3 ways to win. You see, Prize Picks is daily fantasy made simple. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and cash in if you're right. If you think Trevor Lawrence or Baker Mayfield's going to throw for more than their yardage projections, or maybe you think Tua is going to throw for less than his touchdown pass projection, lock it in. At Prize Picks, you can actually turn your insights into income. And Prize Picks also invented Flex Play, which means you can still double your money even if you miss a pick. And with their injury reboot policy, you're not penalized if your player leaves the game early. Love it. I don't just watch Florida football, I play it with Prize Picks. Download the app today. Use my code Bulldog to get $50 in lineups after your first $5 lineup. That's code Bulldog to get $50 in lineups after your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Crossing the finish line, nothing like it. But for the accident attorneys at Farah & Farah, one thrill beats them all.
It's the thrill of the win, lining up all the facts so the truth is clear. Yeah, we're built for that.
Farah & Farah, Orlando.
Let's talk about Pizza Bruno. This place is top nuts. I mean nuts. Sorry, I can't get the garlic nuts out of my head. You want meatballs, you want salads, you want fresh ingredients in every single mouth-watering bite. Pizza Bruno is your spot. Try my personal favorite, the spicy Stetson, crunchy pepperoni, big dollops of ricotta cheese, and hot honey. It is so good. 3 locations in Central Florida, Edgewater, Maitland, and on Curry Ford Road. Visit pizzabrunofl.com and work up an appetite. We love stats, facts, and figures on this show. And what about this one? Your AC system consumes up to 80% of your electric bill, and a new AC system can save you up to 75% on the AC portion of your bill. That could save you a substantial amount of money in the long run, and Mills Air is here to help. Mills Air will get you feeling right. They'll have you living comfortably, and they'll do it all without breaking the bank. The best AC company in the market, bar none. I've used them for years, and you'll love it too. 407-277-1159 and online at millsair.com.
Rapid radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code radio for an extra 5% off.
Follow The Game on Facebook at 96.9 The Game. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
The free iHeartRadio app makes your car radio jealous.
Live radio presets, lyrics for songs, and the most podcasts on the planet.
Plus, it all fits in your pocket.
Your car radio can't do that.
Make sure the free iHeartRadio app is on your smartphone now.
The #1 app for radio.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Is Amari DiMercado available? Because you might want to snag him. Former FSU running back Trey Benson, current Arizona Cardinal, being placed on injured reserve with a knee injury. DiMercado, next man up. Go and snag him in fantasy right now. It's time for the daily coach quote of the day, our daily source of inspiration and motivation. And when you try to focus on everything, you end up focusing on nothing.
That's good.
Jack of all trades, master of none. It is honestly one of my biggest struggles in life, because I have my hand in a lot of pots. I try and do a lot of different things, and I want to do all of them at an excellent level, but it's not really realistic. So
How do you spell DiMercado's last name?
That might have been. We started this show in mid-August. I think that was my favorite moment yet.
Listen to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz weekdays starting at 3 p.m. Streaming on the iHeartRadio app.
Battery pop quiz. Did you know that most rechargeable devices use lithium-ion batteries? They're in laptops, power banks, and more. They can, however, be a fire risk. So power up your battery smarts with tips from the National Fire Protection Association. Only buy products with a safety certification mark. Charge devices on hard surfaces. Don't use off-brand cords, and always unplug when fully charged. Let's charge into fire safety. Visit fpw.org/battery for more tips.
#1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WYGM Orlando, WJRR, HD2, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Free never sounded so good. Now back to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
If you are looking for a good time, perhaps some free beer before the game on Thursday night tonight, go to Wing House and order a half-pound burger at a regular price. Get a free 16-ounce domestic beer or a soda to wash it down, whatever your flavor. It's the perfect way to fuel up before the big football weekend hits. Juicy burgers, cold drinks, beautiful girls. The wings are unbelievable. The Wing House vibe that you know and love. 3 Central Florida locations. Wing House, good food, beautifully served. We're going to get into our FSU Miami. Is the rivalry back? Did it ever leave? Conversation coming up 4 minutes from now. Why are you laughing at that?
We'll get into it. I mean, Jeff Colhane, you just heard him say it feels like the 80s and 90s.
Okay, don't let the cat out of the bag, Mike. I see where you're going with this. Okay. We are asking you to also hit us up in the Rage Cage on the iHeartRadio Talkback. We want to hear your automobile stories, the mechanics that have done you wrong over the years. I had one moment, Mike, when I was a young tyke. I just got my first car. It wasn't the best. It was a Kia Sportage, which now Kia Sportages are nice. Back then, I think the car, it just had a lot of issues. I don't think Kia was the brand at the time that it is now. And this car was awful. It had 3 cylinders. It topped out at 55 miles an hour. That was as fast as I could get this thing to go. People will be driving past me on the highway all the time. And it was so loud, it was like tang, 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 that if I ever pulled up to a fast food restaurant, the person on the other side of the intercom would tell me to turn my car off because they couldn't hear my order. That's how screwed up this car was. So one time I'm driving back to Orlando after visiting my parents in South Florida. I'm up by the West Palm area, and all of a sudden I look at the speedometer, and this thing's up to 90. Mind you, I couldn't get this thing past 55. I'm like, how is this happening? Then all of a sudden I see a tire that is flying in front of my car, just rolling down the highway. And I thought, that's strange. And then my car stops right in the middle of the highway because it was my tire. But the rage part is that I'm in the middle of the road. My car can't move. And then I create a pile up. Not a pile up. I create a traffic jam. There wasn't an accident. Nobody got hurt. Nobody even got dinged or dented. But this guy drives by, rolls his window down, and gives me the middle finger. Like,
because your car?
Yeah. Like I hit the eject button on my tire. I went, wouldn't this be funny? I was so angry. But this guy was so mad, and he flicks me off, and I'll never forget that. Unforgettable first car story.
Your car's riding on the axle and he's flipping you off.
Well, that's the worst part is the half of the axle was actually attached to the tire. It was a pretty dangerous situation. Thankfully, nobody got hurt. But that was the last I ever drove of old Betsy.
Yeah.
We did get a talk back from Dee Dee, but it's inappropriate, so we're not able to air it, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give you mine later. I mean, there's a reason I always say you need to find an AC company you can trust and a car mechanic you can trust.
Yeah.
Because, and the car mechanic story I have is it's almost criminal. It's criminal what these 2 car mechanics tried to do.
It's one of the reasons. It's actually the number one reason why I've just started becoming a lease driver. I always own my cars, but when you lease, you don't have to go to the mechanic. By the time you need work done, it's just time for the next car. So I'm just doing that because I can't trust these people. More game on coming up. We'll pause.
Car warranty.
Yeah, that could help. We'll pause for a moment. Let the talented folks at Fox Sports Radio get you all caught up with the latest and greatest in sports. Got baseball going on in the background. Back in 60 seconds after this Fox Sports update.
Live, local, in your face, and bald. Very bald. Let's send you to the studio for the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida. Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
Broadcasting live in Orlando, Jacksonville, and Tallahassee. It's Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz, the premier sports talk radio show in the afternoons inside the state of Florida. Light us up on the Mills Air text line. That's 50857. We're taking your talkbacks in the Rage Cage as well. Interaction today, a little bit slow. I don't know what's going on over here, but we did get one that just rolled through that said, I think I'm getting grammar policed here. And they're not even grammar policing correctly. So shame on you for one, being that person. And then two, not doing it properly. If you're going to correct me right. It says all of the sudden, not all of the sudden. So I don't know. What are they saying here?
They're saying that you shouldn't say all of the sudden.
You should say all of the sudden.
I guess. Or you could just say, suddenly, I'm not half the man I used to be. There's a shadow hanging over me. Oh, I believe in yesterday.
Exactly what I was thinking. You took the words right out of my mouth, Mike. Melody and all. But yeah, the text says all of the sudden, not all of the sudden. That makes no sense. But this weekend, we got a big one. It's FSU Miami week. And it could be even bigger if FSU wouldn't have dropped that one last week to Virginia. We'd be looking at two top 10 teams squaring off. We have a history of that in this rivalry. Before I get going into further explaining where we're at with this, does that take away at all from Saturday night that FSU lost on Friday, in your opinion?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, of course it does. Of course it does. How could it not?
I think it does. I don't think it does. I don't think it does for us. I mean, it doesn't for me. I think it does nationally because it would just be a bigger game on the college football scale. But this still feels huge.
Still a big game. It doesn't feel huge to me. It feels like a big game. I mean, did last week take something away from it? To me, yes. Is it going to matter if Florida State wins? No, it's not going to matter. Because Florida State can still roll through the rest of the season and, get into the college football playoff. And the topic you're talking about is the rivalry back. Well, you got to get into the college football playoff for the. I mean, we'll see where the season goes, but right now it doesn't feel humongous like the games back in the day used to feel.
Yeah, well, and perhaps it would if we'd be looking at potentially two top 5 teams. If FSU would have won that game, they were at 8, so they could have potentially been top 5. Miami clearly is. Both teams here have a chance to play spoiler for the other team's season. If FSU beats Miami, then Miami's swag takes a big hit. Their season would not be over, but I think the belief surrounding their title candidacy would take a real slide backwards. So FSU can maybe not ruin their season, but they can severely dent Miami's season with a win on Saturday. If Miami wins, FSU would have 2 losses in the conference. They'd be on a 2-game losing streak, and that week 1 win against Alabama would feel very far away and increasingly outlierish if FSU loses. But the question is this: is the rivalry what it once was? Since 1970, these teams have met every year, often with championships or Heismans in the balance. You got the wide right 2, Ed Reed, Sean Taylor, Bobby Bowden, Butch Davis, recruiting battles. Miami does lead the all-time series 36-33, just to give you an idea of how tight it's been over the years. I've always viewed it like this in talking about Florida State's rivals. Florida feels like a bigger rival. Miami has always felt like the better rival. That's just felt like the better rivalry over the years. And a big reason is because of all of these simultaneous top 10 matchups that they've had where it's felt like a national championship. I don't think Florida and Florida State since I've been watching college football, have had quite as many of those. And so for me, I've always viewed Miami as the better rivalry for Florida State. Is it what it once was? I think you'd be forcing it to say yes to that, but it's certainly one of my favorite rivalries in college football. Probably my favorite.
It's been a great rivalry, but it hasn't been a great rivalry for 25 years or however long it's been. All right. Yeah, they've had, a little pocket here and there where it felt like a big game. And to me, that's what this is. As of right now, this is a pocket. Yeah, it feels like a big game, but to say the narrative that Jeff Colhane and I've seen other people use is, this feels like the 80s and the 90s. No, it doesn't. It doesn't, because back then it wasn't a pocket. Yeah. Oh, okay. This year it's a big game. Back then, every year was a big game. Florida State was in the top 5 in the nation for 14 straight years, and Miami was often the team that foiled and ruined the Florida State's seasons back then, and vice versa. It was a lot of times it was 1 versus 2. Whoever won the game, you thought, okay, that team's going to win the national championship. Do we think whoever's going to win this game, they're going to win the national championship? They might, but we don't. It's not like a given that they're going to play for the national championship. It used to be the game of the century, and now it's lucky to be the game of the week. Okay.
Well, that was a bar, Mike, as they say. That's definitely ending up in the Sentinel. Let's just call that what it is. That's a great line. That's a great line.
Well,
but you're 100% right. I would love to yell at you about this, but you're right. The rivalry is still awesome, but to say that it's as great as it once was, here's the thing though, are there any? I mean, if we're going to say that this rivalry is diminished compared to the past, are there any that still rise to the level of where they were in previous years? Ohio State, Michigan, perhaps, still feels like that. Georgia, Alabama is a newer age.
Yeah,
big time rivalry.
That's not really a traditional
Right.
rivalry because they don't play every year. Texas, Oklahoma, haven't played. Texas, Oklahoma.
They play next week. That one's going to feel pretty big, especially if Texas does take care of business in the swamp.
Texas had its down years. Oklahoma's had its down years in the past, but that rivalry has maintained a little bit. Obviously, the Florida-Georgia rivalry isn't what it once was because Florida has fallen on hard times.
But I think it's also unrealistic to ask this. This rivalry was so good,
right?
Partially because of the rankings year after year. To ask for this to maintain what it was, it's unreal. It's unrealistic.
I mean, that was the golden age of the rivalry. It was the golden age of football in this state with Florida, Florida State, and Miami all vying for national championships, over a 10 or 11 year period. All those teams were good every year. And, that was the golden age of Florida football. And to your point, what you have been saying this week, Go read what Lane Kiffin said. I think it was yesterday. Lane Kiffin said, listen, the days of dynasties are over. The days of dynasties in the SEC especially are over. And the days of this rivalry being what it once was are over. It can't happen in today's landscape.
It's a lot tougher because you're not just going to roll over the same great roster with the same great backups when the great starters leave, and all of those reasons why FSU and Miami were good from 1987 till 1996 when these two teams met with almost zero gaps in between 87 and 96. These two teams were top 10 every single time. Every time. And in my heyday of being an FSU fan and being obsessed with this rivalry, 2000 to 2004, those 4 seasons, Miami was 7th, Florida State was 1st. Miami was 1st, Florida State was 9th. Miami was 5th, FSU was 4th. Same thing, 2004, Miami 5th, Florida State 4th. You had the one blip in 2013, and since then, it hasn't really been the same sort of rivalry. Last thing on this, because we haven't said the two words that are obviously part of the reason why it doesn't feel quite the same. It's got zest, but not the same zest that it had in the past, is the transfer portal. That we don't have guys that grew up next to each other that are battling in this rivalry year after year, that perhaps that on the field is why it also doesn't feel the same. It's not just about the ranking. It's also about the players involved. Carson Beck, Tommy Castellanos, those guys, they just got to these programs, and those are the two stars of the teams.
And plus, that period of time you're talking about, 87 to 96 or whatever. Yeah. I mean, every year, Florida State and Miami had the most players drafted into the NFL. I mean, look at the Hall of Famers that played in the game.
That's why
Michael
I love
Irvin, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Deion Sanders, Derek Brooks. Go down the list.
I'm an NFL guy first. I love college football. It's not far behind, but that's part of the reason why this rivalry has always stood out to me, because it's essentially the NFL Combine on full display with green, orange, garnet, and gold. Up next, how does Franz Wagner get himself ready for the season after another Eurobasket grind? What's he been working on? Shot mechanics, all of that important stuff. Franz Boogie joins the show next.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be right back after this.
Now, it's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, WIN. That's WIN. Enter it now at 969thegame.com.
DIY work in a hot house, yeah, really not my bag there. A good AC provider is crucial to my comfort as a homeowner, and just not having something to worry about as far as who I'm going to call upon, and that I know that my system is going to be cranking efficiently every single day. I can set that temperature where I want it. Mills Air is the company that I trust. They don't cut corners. They don't play games. They just deliver every single time. They have come out to my house at times where I thought I wasn't even going to get an answer from the front desk, and it's amazing the service that they provide. Whether it's routine maintenance, fast repairs, or a downright emergency, Mills Air keeps your home comfortable and energy efficient all season long. Mills Air is a Carrier Factory authorized dealer, which means they offer rebates up to $1,275 for a brand new Carrier unit. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you can always rely on the family-owned and operated Mills Air. Call 407-277-1159 and online at millsair.com.
Okay, fellas, let's be real. If your wife or girlfriend isn't herself lately, if she's tired, cranky, no interest in sex, you know it's not her fault. And if you're walking around foggy, low energy, low sex drive, it's not just you getting older. It's your hormones, both of you. That's why I want you to call Florida Center for Hormones and Wellness. This is where couples go when they want to feel alive again. This isn't one of those cookie cutter clinics you see at the strip malls where they give you a testosterone shot in the butt and send you on your way. The difference is Dr. John Carrazella. He's an internationally acclaimed Yale-trained doctor who gave up a successful career as an orthopedic surgeon to focus on hormone health. He's helped thousands of couples get their mojo back, to feel sharp, sexy, and actually excited to be around each other again. And fellas, trust me, when she starts feeling better, everything changes for both of you. So stop toughing it out and start living again, and do it together. Go to hormonesandwellness.com. That's hormonesandwellness.com for all the information. It's a gift that will truly last a lifetime.
Traffic starting to get by now on Orange Blossom Trail northbound at State Road 408. Look out for crews still on the roadways there. On Florida's Turnpike, there's a couple accidents to look out for northbound before County Road 561. That's off to the shoulder. Southbound past Hancock Road, that's also off to the shoulder. The roadways are wet out there. Traffic stop and go on I-95 southbound approaching Matanzas Woods Parkway. Still see traffic troubles. Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the traffic center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Staples. Cue the easy button because it's almost easy deal days at Staples. Starting October 5th, enjoy 7 days of savings on over 1,000 products online and in your local Staples store. From tech, chairs, luggage, and more. Get a sneak peek of all the deals at staples.com. Staples, that was easy.
When you've been in a crash and your mind's racing.
When you've fallen in a store and are blaming yourself.
When you've been hurt at work and don't know what to do. You know who to call. Farah and Farah, Orlando.
What if you could get big bank muscle with small bank hustle, big bank convenience, and small bank connection? That's First Horizon, bringing together the best of big and small to help you on the road to your horizon. Visit firsthorizon.com/get-it-all.
You worked hard for your 401k, but if you've left your job, your money might be sitting in the wrong hands. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and it's very possible that the 401k that you have had for years has hidden fees and limited investment choices. But if you're no longer with the company, that 401k may be at the mercy of your former employer. All of these things could be costing you thousands. Rolling over your 401k into an IRA can provide better investment options that align with your long-term goals. At Trajan Wealth, we're fiduciary advisors that are held to a higher standard with no hidden agenda and no hidden fees. Don't let your retirement dollars sit in an old plan, and don't roll it over to your new plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. Call Trajan Wealth today at 407-213-0000, 407-213-0000.
Advisory services are offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
You know what I love about pro football in Florida? We've got 3 teams, 3 sets of stars, and with Prize Picks, 3 ways to win. You see, Prize Picks is daily fantasy made simple. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and cash in if you're right. If you think Trevor Lawrence or Baker Mayfield's going to throw for more than their yardage projections, or maybe you think Tua is going to throw for less than his touchdown pass projection, lock it in. At Prize Picks, you can actually turn your insights into income. And Prize Picks also invented Flex Play, which means you can still double your money even if you miss a pick. And with their injury reboot policy, you're not penalized if your player leaves the game early. Love it. I don't just watch Florida football, I play it with Prize Picks. Download the app today. Use my code Bulldog to get $50 in lineups after your first $5 lineup. That's code Bulldog to get $50 in lineups after your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
We are Orlando's sports leader, broadcasting live from the FM 96.9 The Game studio. Brought to you by the Nickley Group, Orlando's home team. Doing real estate differently. TheNickleyGroup.com.
I'm Marcus Grant. And I'm Michael F. Florio. And together we host the NFL Fantasy Football Podcast.
Ready to dominate your fantasy league this season?
Then you need the NFL Fantasy Football Podcast, your ultimate source for player news, draft tips, and winning strategies.
Whether you're a rookie manager or a fantasy vet,
we've got the insight to help you crush your opponents.
Listen to the NFL Fantasy Football Podcast on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow the NFL Fantasy Football Podcast and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
Is today the day you're making 96.9 The Game #1? Your #1 preset, that is. What are you waiting for? Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search 96.9 The Game, and click Preset. Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Fresh off of a 5-year run with the Grizzlies, Magic newcomer Desmond Bain is here with us.
You look like you could play safety. Those biceps.
You and me both, man. Look like you just got back from Lifetime Fitness.
How much do you work? How much do you work actual weight training?
We'll do like 4 days a week. Back when I was younger, we used to hammer it, but now we just try to maintain and be as healthy as possible.
I need some sort of like an arm wrestling match between you two.
He keep kind of flexing over here. I think he's trying to show me what it really is.
What do you mean?
Yeah, look at him. Yeah.
Desmond Bain, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks so much for sitting down with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Best of luck this season.
Listen to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz weekdays starting at 3 p.m. on FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the iHeartRadio app. Orlando's hometown sports station. This is 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and the free iHeartRadio app. Welcome back to the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida. Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
We have 3 game 3s today in Major League Baseball. I am just geeked out over the high leverage games that we have in front of us today. Tigers, Guardians, 1 apiece. Bottom of the 4th, 1 out, 1 man on for the home team Guardians. That's the hottest team in baseball right now. The Tigers are my World Series pick, so if they lose today, that goes up in flames quickly. Take 96.9 The Game with you wherever you are with the iHeartRadio app and make us, whatever station you're listening to, whether it's in Tallahassee, Jacksonville, or Orlando, Florida, make us number 1 on your presets in your on your phone and in your car. So it's easy. That's the way I listen to the radio station. And I just click that face on my dash, and then boom, I'm streaming live wherever I am. Franz Wagner took off last year when Paolo Banchero went down with an injury. He turned into his own version of a superstar. He continued his breakout and turned it into a gold medal in Eurobasket. And Franz himself sat down with Bianchi and I. Not much of an off season for you. What's it like still grinding in that sort of way, that highly competitive environment right before you start an NBA season?
Yeah, it's definitely special. Obviously, I think the biggest thing is, I had 2 weeks now, so mentally I had some time to kind of reflect on everything and kind of relax that way, which I think is important. Body wise, I feel great. The grind wise, I love playing for my country, and most importantly, I love those guys that I play with, and that's why I always do it. It's just super super special to share that with them, and obviously it's a lot of fun to win as well. But just those moments, 6-7 weeks together, and everybody's really close on the team, so that's been the best part.
Any theory developed throughout the year about what happened with your obliques? You and Paolo?
Yeah, man.
It's such a freak thing for you two to have the exact same random injury. What is it? What happened with the obliques last year?
Dude, that's such a good question, because even thinking back, I don't really know the play when it happened. Like, I can't even tell. It just kind of started hurting in that Philly game. And, we have not figured that out, but knock on wood, you know what I mean? Hopefully we'll be fine for this season.
I remember when I used to have obliques back in the day.
Maybe that's the key. Just shed them. Just shed the oblique, and then you don't have to worry about pulling it, tearing it.
So when you guys won Eurobasket, do you get a gold medal for that? Or?
You do, actually, yeah.
And what did you do? Where is that?
It's at my it's at our apartment in Berlin. So I left it at home, and it would have been a good idea, honestly, to have it here.
Should have brought it to meeting.
That's true. You should start bringing props here. You've done so many media days. Yeah. You should start bringing props.
But I will say it is really heavy. I will say that. So I'm low-key happy I don't have to wear it here all day. So
also, your shooting mechanics are a little different. What did you do to change that?
I love that you noticed that. Just watching some film for myself from last year, for myself when I was younger, and just kind of getting it back to that. I used to shoot it pretty easily, just super fluid, and that's what all this summer pretty much has been about. And just getting it back to that, getting it to feel good, easy to repeat, and knowing that some of it is mental too. So it's not going to be, it's not a video game out here. So some of it's going to be ups and downs, and not every day is going to be the same. But just being okay with that. But I'm pretty happy with the progress, honestly, over the summer.
Talking to Franz Wagner here on Game On, I was going through some of the notes, and you almost forget how good the team was when Paolo went down. There was all that fear that you guys were going to fall off, and then you went 13-2 with you at the helm. How much confidence did that give you to be that sort of a leader on this basketball team?
Yeah, it was really cool for me. Having that situation, obviously, you never want to see your main guy go out, but I think it was good for everybody. The way we played, I think we shared the ball, played super fast, and I think that's what we got to do to maximize everyone's ability. And I think I looked pretty well on that as well.
Your brother dressed up like he was one of the coaches last year after he got hurt. Did that make you sort of cringe with embarrassment, or did you think it was a good look for him?
No, I mean, I understand why he did it. You know what I mean? He wanted to kind of blend in, I think, with the crowd a little bit, and Also use the time off to see the game from a different perspective, which I think is a good move. So no, I think he actually did some work back there. That's what I was told. Yeah.
So I'm an old guy. Obviously, you're a young guy. When you first started with the team, we started calling you the Franz for the Fonz. I don't know if you know who the Fonz.
I actually don't know.
You don't know who the Fonz is.
So I didn't get that,
yeah, the Fonz, like the old show, the Fonz. Hey, nothing means nothing to you.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, you're still the Franz. So
That's fine. I'll do some research.
Franz Wagner, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us. Best of luck this season.
Thank you, guys.
Franz.
Good to see you guys.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be right back after this.
Speaking of the Fonz was cool. If you want to keep cool in Orlando, let me tell you about Ziegler Air, all right? When your car breaks down, you want a mechanic you can trust, someone who shows up, fixes the problem, and doesn't try to sell you things you don't need. Well, in Florida, your AC is every bit as important as your car, maybe more. And for 40 years, Jason and his crew at Ziegler Air Conditioning have been the AC company Central Florida trusts. I'll never forget this past Labor Day weekend, 95 degrees out, my AC goes down, and I thought my holiday was ruined. But within an hour, Ziegler Air had a tech at my doorstep, the problem fixed, and my weekend saved. They're a carrier and factory authorized dealer, which means they get you the best deals and rebates. And unlike other companies, Ziegler's techs don't get paid commissions. Their job is to fix the problem, not sell you stuff you don't need. When you call a friendly voice, usually Meredith picks up the phone, not a robot. Honest service, real people, and 40 years of keeping Central Florida cool. So the next time the heat is on, don't sweat it. Call Ziegler Air Conditioning at 407-245-8765. That's 407-245-8765. Ziegler Air Conditioning, don't ever lose your cool.
I'm a beer fanatic, so I don't settle for anything less than the best. And the folks at Hourglass Brewing deliver quality, consistency, everything I'm looking for in a good beer. With that neighborhood charm at their 2 Orlando locations, Hourglass Brewing is a first-class brewery from the same one that cranks out Zoneheads 35 once per year. But it's more than that. They crank out the hits on the daily. 25-plus Hourglass beers on tap every single day. Stop by for happy hour. $3 I4 iSource citrus lagers from 4 to 6 p.m. all day on Mondays. They even have wines, seltzers, ciders, something for everybody. Cozy up to the bar, get to know their friendly staff. Hourglass is a welcoming watering hole for the entire Orlando community, and they have a location right near downtown Orlando as well, on top of the one right around the corner from me in Longwood. This isn't mass-produced. This is craft. Fresh ingredients, local pride, and a taste that you can actually savor. So next time you need to unwind, skip the ordinary and raise a glass to the extraordinary. Raise a glass to Hourglass Brewing.
Hi, I'm Burt Ward, Robin from TV's Batman, inviting you to feed your dog natural, non-GMO, Gentle Giants dog and puppy food. Dogs eating Gentle Giants and following our special feeding and care program are living as long as 27 healthy, active years with a wonderful quality of life. Holy wow, 27 years! Think of all the extra years you could enjoy with your dog. At Petco, Stater Brothers, H-E-B, and more. Try Gentle Giants cat and kitten food, too.
Join us daily on 96.9 The Game for your Embers Only Cigar of the Week. Brought to you by Corona Cigar Company. Luxury cigar lifestyle, fine spirits, and relaxation await at your nearest Corona Cigar. Dr. Phillips, downtown, Heathrow, or online at coronacigar.com.
Right now at the Home Depot, shop fall savings and get up to 40% off select appliances like Samsung. Upgrade your kitchen this fall with the Samsung Bespoke 4-door refrigerator. Now featuring the dual auto ice maker with sphere ice. Only at the Home Depot. You'll have perfectly chilled drinks for every gathering. Don't miss fall appliance savings at the Home Depot. Offer valid October 2nd through October 22nd. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
If you've been in a big truck accident, you better have a lawyer who understands the traffic rules for big trucks.
And a lawyer who can navigate the hundreds of laws that can complicate your case.
At Farah and Farah, we're ready to go the long haul to fight for you. Orlando.
Trust, price, and ease of transaction. That is GiveMeTheVin.com. We love to buy cars, and you're going to love GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can
that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Introducing the IHOP Value Menu, where all your breakfast faves are just $6 each every day. Where else can you get a big filling sit-down breakfast for only $6? Go to your happy plates with the $6 IHOP Value Menu. Available every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations.
Eustace Roofing. New roof, no mess. This is the beat of sports.
Florida knew they had to ride the momentum of the season-ending success they had to better themselves in the portal like everybody else. Take advantage of the fan and donor momentum. We need your money to pay for players to make this football team better. That's the game, and the teams we're competing with are doing it, so we need your money. And what better time to do that than not 4-8 that UCF did, but despite the feelings about Napier, you feel a little bit better, don't you? That was a fun November, December, right? So we're good. Hey, they're telling us we're going to be preseason top 25 next year. We got Lackway coming back, Heisman favorite. We got momentum. Hey, let's get some cash. Don't you want to get better? Get some better players. And you had to sell it that he was healthy. Because if he wasn't healthy, that's a flag.
Beat of sports with Mark Daniels. Weekday mornings following the bridge at 9:30 on FM 96.9 The Game, Orlando's sports leader.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
UCF quarterback Taven Jackson, he'll be available for Saturday's game against Kansas. He's not on the injury report despite hurting his shoulder last week. The Buccaneers, they had 16 players on their injury report after Wednesday's practice, including quarterback Baker Mayfield with knee and biceps issues. And Week 5 of the NFL season kicks off tonight with an NFC West clash between the Rams and the 49ers in Southern California. I'm Scott Davidson.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz. Looking for an exceptional driving experience? Find it behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz SUV. Experience the power, precision, and intelligence of an iconic Mercedes-Benz SUV at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer today.
The new home for the Miami Dolphins is 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and the iHeartRadio app. Just search 96.9 The Game. Let's hit the local beat and see what's happening with the teams that call the state of Florida home. Sending you back to the studio. It's Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
The Bucs head out west to take on the Seattle Seahawks this weekend. We're going to preview it right here, right now. Scott Reynolds from PewterReport.com joins the show. He's been on the Bucs beat for 30 years. Scott, this team cannot avoid the injury bug. What is the latest with the health status of the team? Bucky Irving, his walking boot, where are we at?
Yeah, I don't think Bucky's going to play this week. I think this team is ready to give Rashad White the opportunity to be the starter. Last time it worked out well against the Seahawks. He had 105 yards against Seattle in that win over there in Germany a couple of years ago. And he's in a contract year, and he's played well. So why not give him the opportunity and rest Bucky Irving for a week? Sean Tucker is a third-string running back that could probably be maybe a starter on a team or two, and probably a backup running back and number 2 running back for a lot of teams. Then you got Josh Williams. He's a rookie out of LSU. The team likes a lot. So to me, it makes a lot of sense to probably rest Bucky. You're going to need him because this is not the only tough game ahead. You got the 49ers the next week at home. Then you're on the road on Monday Night Football to Detroit.
How does Tristan Wirfs look in his return to action? Same question, Chris Godwin.
I think Tristan's further along than Chris. It was obviously a minor knee scope over the summer for Tristan, so that injury is not as severe as Chris. I think, Chris, what I liked about Chris's performance on Sunday was that he wasn't on a pitch count. He actually played more snaps than Emeka Egbuka. So to me, that's a good sign that they threw him back into the water and in the deep end too, not in, the shallow end of the pool. And I thought he performed pretty well. I think each week you're going to see a little bit better version of Chris Godwin. There was some rust there for sure. Dropped a couple passes, hit him right in the hands. Wasn't maybe able to snap off that route a little bit like he wanted to on that, reconstructed ankle. But you know what? It was probably good from a mental standpoint to just get tackles, right? And to have that leg kind of rolled up a little bit, and get hit. Because that's something that since he missed training camp, he's been practicing for about a month, but he really hasn't been hit or tackled. So this was a good mental hurdle for Chris Godwin to overcome, and I think he did that.
Is this true? I just read this stat, I think, this morning, and I hadn't had time to check it, but it's hard for me to believe that Todd Bowles and a defense hasn't created a turnover this year. Is that right?
No, they've had 2, but
okay.
Still, I mean, we're talking about a forced fumble that was recovered by Vita Vea against the Jets, and then Jamel Dean's pick 6 against the Jets. But in 4 games, they've only had 2 takeaways on defense, and that came in 1 game. So they've gone to 3 games, the Eagles game, the Texans game, and the Falcons game without a takeaway on defense. And that's problematic, especially when you're playing against the Seattle team. To get this, guys, Seattle already has 7 interceptions this year in 4 games. 7. I mean, that's the number the Bucs had total last year on defense. 6 in the secondary. Levante David had 1. So for all of this talk this offseason about how Todd Bowles wants ball hawks and they put an emphasis on interceptions, they look good in the preseason, but it was mostly the backup players getting those interceptions. They had 6 in August, but only 1 so far in September. Hopefully October brings some change in that number, because they're going to need to not just play turnover free on offense. They're going to have to go up to Seattle and get a takeaway or 2. I don't know that they're going to come out of this game unscathed. Mike McDonald's defense playing exceptionally well. They're just about as good as the Bucs are stopping the run. So if Rashad White and Sean Tucker, if they run into a bit of a buzzsaw on the ground game, it's going to put more emphasis on Baker Mayfield winning the game with his arm. And, we saw a little bit of bad Baker last week with that interception in the 4th quarter.
Also, Baker addressed after the game saying, hey, we should be pissed off at our slow starts this year. I mean, what do you do to address that?
I just think it's coming out a little bit more focused, a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more attention to detail in the 1st quarter. And listen, this is not the week to be status quo and to fall behind when it comes to the 1st quarter. Tampa Bay has been outscored 34-13 in the 1st quarter so far. Seattle is averaging 8.8 points per game in the 1st quarter. That's 2nd most in the NFL. Tampa Bay is around 3.3 points. That's in the bottom 3rd. So you're going up there to Seattle to play a Seahawks team that is used to getting off to fast starts, and a Bucs team that has really struggled in the 1st quarter. So the recipe for success is pretty simple. Get out of the 1st quarter at least even, whether that's 0-0, 3-3, 7-7, 10-10, 14-14, whatever it is. Either have the lead in the 1st quarter or get out of it even. You can't trail the Seahawks, because that's kind of been part of the reason why they've won 3 straight. and the reason why they're 3-1.
Talking to Scott Reynolds from pewterreport.com. That's a great nugget right there. Baker Mayfield seems to be pretty dismissive about his time in Carolina. Of course, this is a time that he shared briefly with the opposing quarterback this weekend, Sam Darnold. What's been his overall sentiment towards Sam, towards the situation? I would think those are differing opinions from him, but I know he's been asked about that this week. What's that response been like?
Yeah, I think, misery loves company, and so he and Sam Darnold, former first-round picks. I mean, only a couple picks separated them. In 2018, Baker was the first overall pick. Todd Bowles selected Sam Darnold as the third overall pick that year, and then both of those guys are kind of in purgatory with the Panthers during that season, and they were probably a little bit of like a life boy for each other. Just kind of like trying not to drown in Carolina, and so kind of going through a little bit of a miserable experience in that season. And Carolina, what are you doing? You had Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield, two quarterbacks who were 3-1, on that team, and you punt on both those guys, and you wind up with Bryce Young, who I don't think is lived up to his first overall draft status by any means. I don't think he's a first round talent, and they're 1-3. So, again, Baker has gone from an incredibly poorly run franchise in Cleveland to another one in Carolina. And then he had a cup of coffee out there in LA, and then, found a home in Tampa. And you have to credit Sam Darnold too for hanging in there and finding, the resurrection of his career in Minnesota, and then still kind of being that guy in Seattle. He's completing 70% of his passes. He's got 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So that last year for Sam Darnold in Minnesota wasn't really a flash in the pan. He's a bit of a late bloomer.
The vibes in Seattle are going to be immaculate on Sunday. This is something that the Bucs are going to have to deal with as well. Not that the Seattle Mariners playing baseball technically has anything to do with the crowd noise or anything like that, but they're expecting 100,000 people in downtown Seattle between the Seahawks and the Mariners, and Seattle's wearing throwback uniforms for this game, and fans get all geeked up about that. I mean, there's a lot working against Tampa Bay, at least in terms of the excitement level of the city. I would imagine this is going to be, the 12s are usually pretty loud, Scott, you know that.
Yep.
I'm thinking this is going to be, they're going to be on the louder side of loud in this one.
It very well could be. And, at least Tampa Bay's had 2 games on the road in dome stadiums this year. That Monday Night Football game against Houston was pretty loud. And, of course, the week 1 season opener against the division rival Falcons. So at least they've had a little bit of they've been used to this. And so I think that might help them on the road. That's not a dome stadium out there, but it's as loud as one with the 12th man up there in Seattle. It's going to be a great game. I mean, I think you look at the stretch here for the Buccaneers. What you don't want to do is have one loss turns into another, and all of a sudden you're in this downward spiral, this 0-4 slide like this team has had the last 2 years. I don't think that's going to be the case this year. I even have them losing to Seattle this week, but then coming home and getting a win against the 49ers. They've been so close to beating the 49ers the last couple of years. Last year, even without Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, it came down to a last-second field goal for the 49ers to beat Tampa Bay. So I like their chances actually better next week rather than I do this week. Seattle just looks like a really good team. They run the ball well. Jackson Smith and Jigba is a hell of a receiver. Their defense is no joke. Points are going to be at a premium. And again, to me, it's all going to be about the first quarter. It's not that Tampa Bay can't win. I wouldn't be surprised if either team wins this game. Kind of like how it was against the Eagles last week. Wasn't surprised that the Eagles won. I wouldn't have been surprised if the Bucs would have won. But this stretch right here is fraught with peril. It's a dangerous stretch here.
Scott Reynolds,
Seattle, San Francisco, and Detroit. Tampa Bay's got to probably win 1 or 2 of these games for sure.
Scott Reynolds, pewterreport.com, been on the Bucs beat for 30 years, does phenomenal work over there. We appreciate all of your coverage. Thanks for hopping on with us again this week. Coming up next, we want to hear from you. Hit us up on the iHeartRadio Talkback. Enter the Rage Cage.
You have to get Scott the hook there for a minute.
I guess. Yeah. I thought he was done. You do a lot of interviews. Sometimes you step on people. We appreciate Scott and everything he brings to the show, talking Tampa Bay Buccaneers football. It's going to be a tough one. I would think Seattle feels like the right pick for this weekend. Text and talkbacks on the way next.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be back right after this.
Extra, all you home buyers out there, mortgage rates keep going down, inventory keeps going up, and the Nickley Group is helping buyers save an average of $24,000 by negotiating rate buydowns, seller concessions, and I love their Hometown Heroes program where first responders, teachers, nurses can save up to $25,000 in down payment and closing costs. And when you buy through the Nickley Group, you're not just getting a house, you're getting a team, free moving trucks, free home warranty, and more. Download their free buyer's guide at thenicklygroup.com. That's thenicklygroup.com. If you want to buy or sell quickly, just call Nickley.
The leaves are falling, but the stakes are rising. Postseason baseball is here. It's time to step up to the plate and swing for the fences on your next bet over on Hard Rock Bet. Sign up today, bet $5 on any game. If it wins, you can also score $150 in bonus bets. Get the party started on Hard Rock Bet. I mentioned that the MLB postseason is underway. 4 great games today. I'm taking unders across the board. FSU Miami on the college football slate next Saturday night. Miami installed as a 4.5-point favorite in Tallahassee. Going to be electric inside the Sunshine State. And you can be in on all of it over on Hard Rock Bet. Refer your friends to Hard Rock. You'll both score a bonus bet up to $50. The app is safe. It's slick. It's reliable. Updated to the second. And payouts are lightning quick. Head to Hard Rock Bet and roll with us. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Traffic stop and go due to an accident on Florida's Turnpike northbound approaching County Road 561 southbound past Hancock Road. There's an accident off to the shoulder. Getting cleared up there through the city on I-4 westbound. You're going to run into some off-ramp back up to Steep Road 408. Keep left to avoid those delays. Traffic starting to slow down on I-4 getting through that Champions Gate area. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Staples. Cue the easy button because it's almost easy deal days at Staples. Starting October 5th, enjoy 7 days of savings on over 1,000 products online and in your local Staples store. From tech, chairs, luggage, and more. Get a sneak peek of all the deals at staples.com. Staples, that was easy.
A clutch performance is great on the football field, but when it comes to your freedom, clutch play from your legal representation is vital. When your freedom's on the line, you need Trey Flynn in your corner. Trey is a board-certified criminal defense attorney with 18 years of criminal defense experience. Trey's record speaks for itself. He defends DUI cases, serious felonies, and will fight tooth and nail to protect your rights and your future. Visit TreyFlynn.com or dial 407-557-6350. Arrested today? Call Trey.
Chelsea here. Ready to upgrade your windows or patio doors? During our fall savings month, get 20% off your replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, enjoy 0 down, 0 payments, or 0 interest for 12 months. Our Acclaim Impact windows are built for Florida homes, designed to help you save on energy bills by maintaining indoor temperatures year-round. Offer ends October 31st. Restrictions apply. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free in-home consultation. License number CGC 1527613. Renewal by Anderson, where comfort meets savings.
The one and only Monster Jam. The world's best drivers tear up the dirt in your favorite Monster Jam trucks like Grave Digger and more. Coming to Camping World Stadium January 10th. Brought to you by Big 80 Tires. You have to see it live, so don't miss it. Lock in your seats today at monsterjam.com.
Worried about market losses? If headlines are keeping you up at night, it's time to take control. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I know you've worked hard to save. But in times like these, what if can turn into what now? If you're planning to retire or are in retirement, you need a strategy that helps protect your future. At Trajan Wealth, you can capture market gains, protect your account from losses, and guarantee income for life. Right now, you could receive a bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. You heard me right. An upfront bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10%, all guaranteed to boost your lifetime income in retirement. Don't leave your future to chance. Plan with confidence. Call Trajan Wealth today at 407-213-0000. 407-213-0000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company, DBA, in most states as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
I'll trust water bottles and a flashlight to save the day, but I'll be proved wrong.
With a tornado approaching, I'll realize that I like a wheelchair-accessible shelter.
When the floodwaters rise, I'll be up in the attic with 20 cans of beans. It's a recipe for disaster.
let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Let's talk about Pizza Bruno. This place is top nuts. I mean nuts. Sorry, I can't get the garlic nuts out of my head. You want meatballs, you want salads, you want fresh ingredients in every single mouth-watering bite. Pizza Bruno is your spot. Try my personal favorite, the spicy Stetson, crunchy pepperoni, big dollops of ricotta cheese, and hot honey. It is so good. 3 locations in Central Florida, Edgewater, Maitland, and on Curry Ford Road. Visit PizzaBrunoFL.com and work up an appetite.
Follow the game on Facebook at 96.9 The Game. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
This is the beat of sports.
Mark Richt averaged 10 wins a year at Georgia. The problem was a decade of that, he didn't win the right games. Their biggest rival games, or when they played top 10 teams, they lost. They beat up on everybody else, and it wasn't good enough. And Georgia felt that they needed to make a change. For Billy Napier on a different level, though Gator fans would love to average 10 wins, you do get a sense that 8-5, it's just not going to be good enough. And it just has that view, like, can it get to the next 2 levels? The first level is winning 9 or 10 games. The next level is you're competing for the SEC championship and national championships. And I think most Florida fans feel like that's not going to happen with him in charge.
They haven't liked him from the beginning.
No, because it wasn't as sexy of a hire, and the personality just didn't initially resonate.
The beat of sports with Mark Daniels. Weekday mornings following the bridge at 9:30 on FM 96.9 The Game, Orlando's sports leader.
Get hurt in the game, we tough it out. Feel exhausted, we push on. Feeling down, we pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. But there are times when bootstraps aren't enough, when stress gets to us and we need to talk to someone about what we're really going through. So we're going to reach out, because sometimes mental health is not a one-person job. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
WYGM Orlando, WJRR HD2 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. The UCF Knights are heard here. Now back to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Let's talk about not the Bucks. We already talked Bucks. Let's talk bugs. Burn Pest Control. Joe's team doesn't just treat the pest problem, they solve it. Keep your home protected from the bugs all year long with Burn Pest. Tell them that Brandon Kravitz, Mike Bianchi sent you by. Get 10% off of your initial service. Go and find them, burnpest.com. Scott Reynolds, long-winded as he is, Mike, gave me a great idea for the locks tomorrow. Well, you may have caught the stat. If you didn't, then you're going to have to tune in tomorrow, because I'm working that in to my Stone Cold Locks segment. I love this angle that he brought up. Fast start for the Seattle Seahawks. There's your tease.
Well, you're talking about the 8.3.
Well, don't give it away.
Points.
Okay. Yeah. 8.8. Okay, fine. 8.8 points per game in the first quarter for the Seattle Seahawks. And that ranks second in the NFL. That is behind only the Buffalo Bills. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers ranked 24th. Yuck. They were like they were down there with the Giants and the Jets and the Saints.
Okay.
So
if you're
first
gonna,
quarter.
If you're gonna
Seahawks.
bore me with those first quarter stats, okay, then I'm gonna bore you with a fantasy question. All right, so Ricky Pearsall was my starting receiver. The only receivers I have left to replace Ricky Pearsall with are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp.
What? It's so sad to me that's funny.
And wait for it, Jerry Jeudy.
You cannot shake Jerry Jeudy.
Jerry Jeudy, Dylan Gabriel may be looking for Jerry Jeudy. Jeudy.
DG was asked about Jerry Jeudy this week, and he said, "Oh, his eyes got all big," and he said, "I love Jerry Jeudy."
Jeudy. I'm going with Jeudy.
Those rookie quarterbacks tend to lock in on one guy. If that one guy is Jerry Jeudy, he'll have 12 targets, and everybody else will have 2. And that'll be the way that game goes. I think Jerry Jeudy might be the way to go over. It's amazing how Cooper Kupp has fallen off fantasy wise.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp, who's averaging like 2.1 yards per reception.
It's crazy. It all goes away at once. So we did get this text earlier on the Mills Air text line at 50857 that says, I admit that I only get to listen to short segments of your show on some days, so I apologize if I'm asking about something that has already come across in the last few days. But am I perhaps the only one who lost both Malik Neighbors and Tyreek Hill from the same injury on my fantasy team? My season outlook wasn't great to begin with. Now it's dreadful. I like how this person goes, I might have missed it, but did you talk about my specific fantasy team earlier this week?
No, we did not talk, but that's a devastating loss to your receiving core.
It
but you might want to start Jerry Jeudy.
Oh my God. Can you change your team name to Judge Judy, please? That would be great. Another one says, BK, I don't have Ricky Pearsall tonight. What is with all the fantasy questions, guys? I'm flattered. It says that I don't have Pearsall. Kendrick Bourne. I'm not going to advise anybody. What has Kendrick Bourne done? What's he done lately? I have no idea off the top of my head.
Does he still play for the Patriots?
I think he does. I would say no. In general, there's probably somebody else out there. Somebody said all these Florida teams were good back in the day because kids didn't travel and people weren't as good at recruiting. So all of the South Florida local great talent never left and never got too far. That sounds pretty accurate, Mike. Do you want to rubber stamp that text?
Boom.
Yeah.
Rubber stamp
right there.
By the way, so our Rage Cage question today is car issues, right?
Yes, it is.
Car issues.
You had a story, right?
You want to rage about a car issue. Here's my rage, and it got me anti-car mechanic, all right?
You have 60 seconds, by the way.
All right. So my car was overheating back. This was 15, 20 years ago. I took it to one car mechanic. He said, you need a whole new cooling system. $1,800, he said.
Oof.
I go, I'll just get a second opinion on that. So I take it to another car mechanic. Said your radiator needs to be replaced. $370 or something. I go, okay, I'll take it to another place. So my father-in-law at the time said, take it to Jeff down at Auto Electric.
Love Jeff.
So I took it to Jeff at Auto Electric. You know what he said? You need a new fan. It'll be $80. I went from $1,800 to $80, and the fan fixed my problem. That is skullduggery is what it is. Skullduggery.
That is it is crazy how much some of these mechanics, you go to the wrong place, they will all out rob you because most of us have no idea. They could make up words. I wouldn't even argue with them.
Hey, you need a new A-frame. You need a new A-frame. Okay.
Yeah. When that A-frame goes out, good luck driving that thing around town. Bet it or forget it coming up in a matter of 60 seconds. Right now, let's kick things over to the fine folks of Fox Sports Radio for this 60-second update.